She thinks you don't see it. She believes you're too blind to notice. But deep down, your instincts whisper the truth. A woman who cheats doesn't just lie with her words. She lies with her silence, her energy, and her distance. If you've ever felt something was off but couldn't explain it, if you've doubted your worth because her actions didn't match her words, you're not crazy. You're picking up on ancient signals. Human psychology hasn't changed as much as we pretend. And today we're diving into the Stoic perspective on betrayal, emotional detachment, and the 7 signs she always leaves behind. This isn't about revenge. This is about power. The kind of power that comes from inner clarity, emotional discipline, and the courage to walk away when others think you won't. Let's decode the signs. Let's reclaim your peace. Let's begin. The Stoic lens on emotional betrayal. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." But what if your reality is betrayal? What if the person you trusted is hiding something behind every "I'm just tired" and you're being insecure? Stoicism teaches us not to chase certainty in others, but to root certainty in ourselves. To not obsess over her actions, but to master our reactions. However, that doesn't mean you should ignore red flags. It means you face them with courage, not chaos. You observe, not obsess. You respond, not react. You move, not beg. And most importantly, you never ignore the truth once you've seen it. So here are the clearest signs a woman is cheating, rooted in real-world psychology and sharpened by Stoic clarity. Lesson: the 7 signs she always leaves behind. 1. Sudden emotional distance. She used to light up around you. Now she seems bored, distracted, or irritated for no reason. This isn't always proof of cheating, but when paired with other signs, it's the emotional distancing that usually comes before the physical betrayal. Why? Because guilt changes people, not always with tears, but with indifference. 2. Increased secrecy with her phone. Everyone deserves privacy, but when she starts taking her phone everywhere, flipping it face down, or acting nervous when it buzzes, it's no longer about boundaries. It's about what she doesn't want you to see. She says you're paranoid, but Stoicism says, observe the pattern, not the excuse. 3. Defensive over small questions. Ask, "Where were you?" and she acts like you're attacking her character. Extreme defensiveness over neutral questions is often a subconscious way to deflect guilt. She knows what she's hiding, and your curiosity threatens that. 4. New focus on appearance for someone else. People evolve, but if she suddenly reinvents herself, new makeup, new clothes, new workouts, and it's not for herself or your shared life, chances are she's trying to impress someone else. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." Likewise, don't beg for loyalty. Observe who she becomes without your effort. 5. Missing time and vague explanations. When stories stop making sense, when the timelines don't add up, when she gets defensive about things that used to be normal, she's not being forgetful. She's editing reality. A cheating mind lives in a fog of contradictions, and sooner or later, the timeline breaks. 6. Less physical intimacy or sudden guilt-driven intensity. Cheating often disrupts physical patterns. Either she pulls away entirely, or she becomes overly intense to cover the guilt. Watch for the change, not the act itself. 7. The "you deserve better." Speech it sounds noble, but when she says, "You deserve better than me," out of nowhere it's often a soft confession. Stoically, don't argue. Don't prove your worth. Let her walk, because maybe, just maybe, she knows she already crossed the line. Modern application: how a Stoic man responds. You don't chase. You don't confront with rage. You let the truth do the talking. The Stoic man trusts his judgment. He doesn't need a smoking gun, just consistent misalignment. If these signs stack up, you act with grace and finality, not to punish her, but to preserve yourself. You walk away in silence. You rebuild in stillness. You rise in strength. And while she waits for your anger, your texts, your breakdown, you remain unmoved. Because your worth isn't tied to her guilt. It's rooted in your clarity. When you know, don't doubt. Pain is inevitable, but prolonged confusion is a choice. When the signs are there, when her energy has shifted, when your gut has whispered the same truth too many times. Listen, not to react, but to decide. Seneca taught us, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." So don't suffer from guessing. If she has betrayed you, move in silence. Heal with purpose. Live with power. Because in the end, the strongest response isn't revenge, it's indifference. And nothing hits harder than a man who no longer needs her closure.